What'd you make in profits this year?
What is a business that is profitable?
It makes money.
$750,000 in sales. Is that money?
Not if it's not profits.
We'd have the issue about what is profit.
Don't BS me.
I don't sell, John. And I think the products will speak better for me. We ready to get this Shack test on?
Jon Taffer with his new show we were just talking about during the break called Hungry Investors, talking tough about what it takes for businesses to make it in this economy. And today, the strength of this economy is certainly in question. I mean, construction activity coming in softer than expected. Even firms like Barclays now saying that maybe first quarter growth was actually negative growth. You know what we mean.
Never a good thing. Also in this discussion, we have former Congressional Budget Office Director Doug Holtz-Eakin. But John, let's start with you. Since you're in the restaurant business, you see where consumers are spending money, what they're buying, how much they are actually willing to take out of their wallet, and how does the everyday economy look to you?
Yeah, how high are they reaching on the shelf there?
Well, you know, they're not reaching as high on the shelf. There's two equations, obviously, in our business. There's guest counts and then there's spend per guest. And the combination of those two elements drive our revenue. We're seeing a rise in guest counts. We're not really seeing a substantial rise in spend yet. And that's what's really holding back the chain restaurant segment. Earnings are reasonable. We're seeing some growth. But until we get spend released, we're not going to see the growth that we need to.
Are you guys, not you specifically, but the industry's sort of training customers now to expect the 2 for $25, you know, some of those deals that bring the people in?
So that was the fallout of the recession. You know, two for $20. We created an addiction to discount, an addiction to lower pricing, and it takes time to wean the consumer out of that. It's also very expensive, as the market shows.
But it did create a cottage industry, Gilt, Groupon, Living Social, all these coupon businesses were able to spring up. But Doug, I'm wondering, just from a more macro perspective, we have a negative print for GDP, at least from one shop on Wall Street when they're making their estimates. The Fed has said that the economy will grow 2.9% this year. That's their forecast. When you include the first quarter, that means that the next 3 quarters, we're going to need 3.9% growth on average to actually get there. I mean, how did the Fed get this so wrong?
The Fed's been consistently overestimating U.S. growth. If you go back again and again, this is the pattern. You know, look at the first quarter. First estimate's 0.1. Inside that, good news on the consumer, right? Personal consumption up 3 percentage point growth rate. But when you look at the March data that really powered that, it's all coming out of savings. And the thing I'm looking for tomorrow is some evidence that we're going to see hourly earnings grow, hours grow, the foundations of income growth. Because if that doesn't happen, the consumer can't keep it up. And I don't see anyone else picking up the ball. We don't see a big CapEx expansion. We just don't have it.
How much are energy prices a factor here? When you look at the fact that gas prices have been going up every day since February, we're at the highest prices we've seen since March of 2013. How much is that impacting what we're seeing in terms of spending and overall impact on the economy?
It has less of an impact than it used to. I mean, one of the great things about the huge energy boom in the United States is we now own some of those higher prices and we benefit from it. So it mutes the macro impact a little bit. But this is not a consumer that's very strong, especially at the lower end of the market. It's not an economy that's very strong. I think my biggest concern is that when you're, wandering along at 2 percentage point growth, bad things happen all the time, and you get knocked down, perhaps even in negative territory. That starts hitting people's confidence, and it snowballs. So I'd love to see a much stronger fundamental growth path.
Is that bifurcation in the market that is most concerning to me? Because I think sometimes when we see these average numbers, that they really are brought up by the premium consumer, and it gives this hope that things are better than it is. We just had too many people who are unemployed, too many people who are underemployed. I don't care what number we see tomorrow. It's not going to be in the realm of where it needs to be.
The top line number is not the important thing tomorrow. We're going to get 210, 225,000. I don't know exactly what it'll be, but the real questions are how much of that's going to be part-time help. We've had tons of that. How are we going to see real hourly earnings grow? Are we going to see hours of work grow? We have total hours below the top before the recession. We have record high in long-term unemployment, record high teenage unemployment. The fraction of the population working still below what it was before the recession. The labor market has not recovered, and the consumer can't power this economy without that.
All right, we got to go. Doug, I wish I had more time. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. We'll see what those numbers look like tomorrow morning.
When we come back, the Hot List has some secrets, and they're lighting up CNBC.com. The secrets are from CNBC first 25 members like Infosys founder Narayana Murthy. Alan Lossler has those secrets and the complete hot list coming up next.
Love secrets. And our school days feature is back with yet more disconcerting news about the cost of higher education. It's too high right now, right? So we'll have that story coming up.
Ring, ring goes the bell. Why do I trade with MegaTrader? Good question. Because in terms of execution,